Now we're going to talk about doubling down. Doubling down is a way to increase your bet on your first two cards by taking one card. You double your bet. And you get one card. Double your bet, one card down, double down. So this is how the game of blackjack works, and I'm going to show you the mechanics of blackjack card play. So this is it. The player will double down on 10, 11, or ace deuce when the dealer shows 4, 5, or 6. This gives the player two chances to win. Either you make a hand or the dealer busts when they draw. So I'm going to bring out all 13 cards of one suit. And I'm going to show you exactly how many cards make a hand out of each double down decision that you have to make. Okay, so this is it. When the player doubles down on 10, they have the ace for 21, 17, 18, 19, 20, plus these 10 count cards. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cards to make a competitive hand when you double down on 10. Now let's go to 11. For 11, you lose the ace, but you pick up the 6. So it is actually the same number of cards that make a hand on 11 as it is on 10. You have 6 for 16, 7, 8, 9, and these 10 count cards. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cards to make a hand. On 10 and 11, it's the same number of cards. And the reason why I'm pointing this out to this degree is because you're going to play with players on the game that say, oh, double down on all 11s. As opposed to doubling down on a 10. Because it's the same number of cards that make a hand on 10 as it is 11. So this is very important. You double your bet, you get one card down, double down, but I'm coaching you to not double down on all 11s like the other players on the game will insist. You double down on 10 and 11. It's the same number of cards that make a hand when the dealer shows 4, 5, or 6. It's the same number of cards. It's very important. So now let's look at ace deuce. This is called a soft double. And there are a lot of cards that make a hand for these soft doubles. When the player doubles down on ace deuce, they have the 8 for 21 all the way down to the 4 for a 17. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards that make a hand on ace deuce. Now, when you double down on ace 3, you pick up the 3 but you lose the 8. So it's the same number of cards that make a hand on ace deuce as it is ace 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards to make a hand on ace in any of the soft doubles up to ace 5. But just in order to make things simple, I've outlined here doubling down on 10, 11, and ace deuce when the dealer shows 4, 5, or 6. This gives the player the optimal number of cards to make a hand as opposed to the other doubles. Say, for instance, a 9. So on a 9, you have the ace for 20, 8, 9, and these cards here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards on a 9. When you go even farther down and you make a double down on an 8, you have to really make a good hand because you don't have as many cards. It starts getting fewer and fewer. So to recap, double down on 10, 11, and ace deuce when the dealer shows 4, 5, or 6. That gives the players 2 chances to win. Either you make a hand or the dealer busts. If you start doubling down on these bigger cards, you have to make a really good hand against a 9, against an 8, any of the face cards. You're taking your chances to win that double down to half because you don't know whether or not the dealer has to draw. So I'm coaching you to double down only when the dealer has to draw because it gives you the optimal number of chances to win. And I say here on the very bottom, this dictates how you should be betting. This says always increase your bet by small incremental increases in a positive direction. Say that you have bet 3 and you win. You increase by a small increment, but you always bring some back for your bankroll. Then when you lose, you go right down to minimum bet and you keep betting into this sequence by increasing in a small increment in a positive direction. It's like this. Bet 3, win, increase, bring this back for your bankroll. You win, increase, so that you're always increasing your bet and increasing your bankroll when you're on a winning streak. That's how you get into a winning streak, is by increasing in a small incremental increase in a positive direction when you're winning. Then when you lose, you go right back down to minimum bet and you start all over again. Now this is called conservative basic strategy, which is how you should be playing when you have your own initial bankroll. When you're winning, that's when you can afford to play a little more aggressive because you're betting house money. So you're always increasing your bet, but you're always bringing some back for your bankroll. This concludes the first part of conservative basic strategy and the beginning of better blackjack.